Hi everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road, and welcome to another video in the Commit to Christmas series. It doesn't matter when you watch these videos throughout the year, all of these tips in this series will help you get ready for the Christmas season and reduce your stress level, especially if you're a card maker or a scrapbooker. So in this video, I'm going to focus on a few things that you can do now to avoid the December rush. And the first thing is to buy postage. Buy postage. It's so simple. Of course, you don't have to be a card maker or a scrapbooker to take advantage of that tip. But anytime you're especially if you're checking out at the grocery store or something, maybe just start to now pick up like one book of stamps. And I just keep mine actually in like a little, the little cellophane things that, like, if you're a card maker, you might have a bunch of these around. If you're a scrapbooker, maybe your stickers or little embellishments come in them or whatever. But keep them somewhere. And we've got a bunch of these. When they go on sale, you just pick them up. And that's where I store my cards as I make them to get ready for Christmas. But I just store my stamps right in there and just pick up one every couple weeks or so to get ready for the season. It's really, really helpful. And then as soon as you're ready to send out your cards, you've already got your stamps ready to go. The second tip I have for you today is to make labels. And without, for the sake of not sharing the names and addresses of all the people on my Christmas list, I'm not going to close up. But as you can see, just from a glimpse, there are envelopes ready to go and labels in this box. And once you do it one time for all of your family and friends, you can pretty much just maintain going into, it could be something as simple as a spreadsheet. And then you can change that as needed. And if you have a laptop computer or a desktop computer, just really, I'm sure that there is a program that will tell you how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, either ask somebody or you can go to just Google, how do I make labels for a blank computer, or how do I make labels for a Windows 10 or something like that. And there's lots of places that could just take you step by step through. That's really all I did. I did it once when we got married. I kept everybody's name and address separate. The only advice I'm going to say about that is if you're doing it and you haven't done it before, when you're putting a spreadsheet together like in columns, don't try to put like the name, address, and thing like you're filling out like a big long thing, like a list. Put the name in one like section, and then next to it the address in one section, and then whatever, because then once it prints out, it can print out one then the other then the other. And then if you change the address, you just have to go in and change that little part. You don't have to go change the big long thing. But teaching you how to do that is not really the point of this video, but having labels on hand and getting them on the envelopes as you make them is really a time saver. Like right here, I've already got a jump start for this year just because these are last year's labels that I know people haven't moved. And all I have to do is stick stamps on them and use these cards, and I could send them out today and it's like summer. So really, really handy to just keep yourself organized and get a jump start on the holiday, on your holiday cards. The next tip that I recommend that you can do now in order to avoid the December rush is to get organized or make kits, especially with your Christmas supplies. Now, if you're a card maker or a scrapbooker and you've been doing this for a while, it is no doubt that you have a plethora of Christmas supplies, especially I guarantee that some of you have the giant mammoth scrapbook pack of stuff, and then that turns into all kinds of mammoth scraps and so on. So now would be the good time to get yourself ready for that season and not get yourself real overwhelmed. I'm just going to share the way I keep myself organized, and you can do whatever works for you. It's really not that high tech of a system, honestly. I have a 12 by 12 thing here that's just sort of cardboard that I found cheap, and I wrote Christmas on it, and I keep this big pack in with it. And then also I have this black and white stack in with it because that goes with everything. And that's not necessarily just Christmas, but that's probably where I'd used it most often. I put all my stickers in one of these. That would be Christmas stickers, okay? Christmas stickers that I haven't used yet, which is not very many, I see. Not letter stickers, not anything like that, but just plain, like devoted to just Christmas stickers. And then I have some single-sided paper that was like maybe you can't see that because it's not in the camera view. Single-sided paper that's from a variety of other packs. Like when the pack gets down to the, like, dangerously low level, I just take it out and put it in here. But then I saw something go by that wasn't really Christmas, but I thought that could be Christmas. Like leaves or something. Of course, now I can't find it now. But yeah, I'm not going to struggle to keep everything in a pack if the pack is just almost done. And let's see what else. I think these are more like specialty papers. Like this is, I think, double-sided paper that came from, it might have been Stampin' Up! Or something, and I kept all that together. That's pretty much it. And then these were just like pre-made little doodads that I thought were cute. And because they're Christmas, I didn't want them to get lost in the shuffle of other pre-made doodads. So I stuck them in with that. So there's that. But once I cut into something, and then I've got scraps left over, then what I tend to do is make little kits. And I use Pinterest a lot for color palettes so that I'm not always using the same traditional color palettes. And I've got birthday and Easter and so on. And then here, I think I actually made this in another video. I think I did, as a matter of fact, because I would never have written it like that if it was just for me. I write it like that. That sure is nice and neat. But I have a couple. Yeah, here's my other Christmas ones that are like just for me. That's so detailed. But yeah, so I have a couple Christmas packs that are already pre-made. And this is really nice because sometimes you know how you just get in the mood, like just to do some Christmas cards, but you don't want to drag out all this stuff. You don't want to open up brand new paper. You're not in that kind of mood, but maybe you just want to play around a little bit with some things. This is perfect for that. And basically these are just made from scraps. So I just cut them into workable sizes. Like, I'll just open this up and show you what's inside just quick. Like, you could tell, obviously, like, I've already used this, and this, and this. But that's like a die that I had pre-cut and didn't use in the project that I thought I was going to. Here's some pre-cut panels for cards. Here's a little vine sticker. You know, just stuff like that. Other stickers. And then these are all 6x6 quote-unquote scraps, but they look like they're brand new. And they're in different bags because they're all in different color palettes. So this is one color palette. This is a different color palette. So the cards will look a little bit different, and so on and so forth. So now's the time to do that. You know, when you're kind of in the Christmas mood, but maybe not quite in the mood to do all your crafty stuff. So yeah, perfect timing to get organized and make kits. The next tip that you could do now in order to avoid the December rush would be to stamp or color or die cut and then save those things in little boxes for later. It's a really, really effective way to stay organized, but also to get your creative juices flowing. And here's what I do. I have these tins. I think this came from one of my family members that has pets, and they just gave me the tin. But little tins work great for that. Here's some stamp. Oh, these are from my Cricut. You know, you could do a lot of that ahead of time now. This is just some papers that I plan to use in my Cricut. But like this, these aren't necessarily, oh, I guess that is Christmas. I think I did that last year. I had this corrugated paper, and I had a bunch of them that I was cutting out and just put the leftovers in here. Here's a winter tag that I made a while back and didn't end up using it, so I just tossed it in the box, you know. But isn't this handy? Because now, let's say I make a card right now, I could literally just slap this tag right on there and put like even this tree and a sentiment, and there's a card. Boom, just that quick. So if you kind of keep yourself organized along the way, your card making and scrapbooking gets really, really fast and easy. Here's another little, oh, I must have made these together like in a pattern or something. I can almost see that I did. And another thing, you know, just keep them all together. This is not Christmas, but I just felt like stamping, and there wasn't a die for it, but I fussy cut it out. And so now when I go to want it, it's in there. But I do this with all kinds of things, and it saves me a lot of time when I'm actually crafting, because I go through it often enough that I know what, just kind of off the top of my head, what I have in the box. And when the box gets too full to close, I sit down and I make a bunch of stuff. And that's how I keep the box down. And if I can't close the box, then that's my fault. Then I haven't been crafting enough, you know? So yeah, that's my fourth tip, is to stamp, color, and die cut, and just store those Christmas things. You can do ornaments. I think, you know what, as a matter of fact, I think, like these, for example, this was a card that I made, and I had these, I think, already in here, or at least I had the paper in a kit or something like that, you know, so that all I had to do was put it on there. Yeah, really handy. And then you could see this is, I know I made this in another video, but you can see this was just, like, I spent the time when I was crafting making the background and stamping and doing all that creative stuff, and then I could just plunk these ornaments on there. So yeah, stamp and color and die cut, and keep your scraps in like little containers for later. Okay, and my last tip for today in this video for things that you can do now to avoid the December rush is to give craft outfitting a try. This is not a plug for craft outfitting. It's my sincere advice, because it saves so much time and you come out with such nice stuff. Now, if you are not familiar with craft outfitting, it's a pattern system that I create the patterns myself. I'm sure crafting from patterns is not the original idea, but the way that I do it, I think, is pretty original. Now, here's what you'll end up with. I actually have I have space for 1, 2, 3, 4 more pages left over in this album. But everything else in this album was done with craft outfitting patterns. So now I have all these albums ready for pictures. 4x6, 4x6, and I just write little notes to myself for where the pictures go. But it's not just the pages. While you are creating the albums, while you're creating the pages for the album, you are simultaneously creating cards to go with it. And not like the cards go with it, but they are all like happening at the same time. You start out with a series of papers. Maybe you start out with like 12 papers that you choose from your stash, or 19 papers you choose, and I guide you through that. And then you just follow the step-by-step. There's a video tutorial and a physical pattern that you can print out, like typed words, not just sizes of blocks, but it's more like turn the paper this way and cut here, turn the paper again and cut here, cut out of here. It's pretty detailed. And this was all from one pattern. These 2 pages, these 12 cards, all happening at the same time in one sitting, because you're doing everything all at once. And let me think of where let me see if I have them in this album, where the other pages are. Were they from there? 1, 2. Did I pass them on? Did I give them as a gift? Oh, here, and here's 3. I can tell. I must have given the other one away as a gift or something, or it's in another album. But it's usually 4 12x12 pages and 12 cards. And how handy is that? I did that last year, and now my entire 12x12 album is ready to go, and I have cards ready to store in my box. And I love doing that. It's actually how I craft myself for my own projects, because I could do that same pattern with baby paper and have a big box of baby cards and a baby album. I could do it with school paper and have a big box of like school theme or birthday cards or something, and then like some school pages. So if you haven't ever given craft outfitting a try, just check it out. There's actually like a little, I guess it's like a preview video of what you'll end up making, and I show other projects that I made all with this pattern, and I'll link below to that. And yeah, just give it a try, especially if you've got a huge stash of paper. Oh my goodness, you don't need to have a bunch of weird accessories, you know. Most of it is just paper and glue, and that's it. Stamps are usually helpful, but if you don't have any stamps, you could always use stickers or that. Because just imagine if I didn't have this stamp set or this sentiment, I could use stickers and stickers, you know. So it's just a way to use what you have, but it's super handy because it really look, half the box. Oh, this is from another pattern. Yep, it sure is. All these are from patterns I did last year. Yep, these are not, but those two were. And I've got more in other boxes because I have a little bit of an overflow. So that is about it. I hope you enjoyed today's tips to do now and to avoid the December rush for Christmas. And if you're interested in getting an idea for a card to make, you can check out the link below for the first video that I did in this series, which is a card making idea, a shaker card for the Commit to Christmas series. And just a fun single card I made to get us inspired to get started for card making. So thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Sandpaper Road on YouTube and click that bell to receive the notifications, and check out Sandpaper Road on social media. And thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos in this series, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.